everyone. I am Tessellating Hexagons, and you know how I said in the last episode that we were going to go and, climb Mount Desma as the story demands of us? Well, I kind of forgot we have one and a half other, two things, but two of those things are half things to attend to before we can do that. This is not the right way. It's the next junction. The gooey swamp is confusing. So we were told that they'd left a present for us here, the pirates, that is, and it had to do with swimming. Well, now we just have a boat. But that's it. That's the whole reason why we came back here is because we have a boat. But unlike the ones in the Pirate Hideaway, we can pilot this one more or less freely. It is a tiny bit jank, but we can finally talk to the crab and wanker. And after all this time, it just spits out a circle of rupees. So kind of not massively worth it, but hey, at least we have that closure now. And you might think, wow, Tess, did you really just sidetrack our progress yet again just to show us that? Yes. But there is other stuff here as well. I just don't remember exactly where. I know there is an island. Oh, there's that island that's in the middle of the insect cavern. I feel like I completely missed out a word in what I was saying there because my mouth doesn't like to cooperate with my brain half the time. So we could jump into the middle of the insect cavern if we wanted, but if we keep heading over this way, somewhere around here, is that it? No. Is it further to the depth? Where am I going? There is somewhere that we can go, and do pardon, as I said, the boat is a bit jank. If we go down and to the right, because that's where the pirate pier is. If we go this way, there's an entirely separate screen, and somewhere on this screen is a thing of interest. But we may be here for a while. I don't remember what, maybe there's multiple things here. I don't know. This looks like an island where there is stuff buried. We must have to investigate, mind you. This isn't what we're here for. This is just, I was looking at other stuff, maybe. Surely there's something of value buried here. You would have thought. Okay, apparently not. Either there's a really rare drop there that I'm just not getting, or that's just not what it looks like. Is this an island where we can dock and dig things up? What are the purposes of these islands, then? Surely there must be something of use here. There is something that we're looking for that we'll know when we see, but I remember very little about this. Ah, okay. So we could dig up coral here. That may be the only purpose of these islands, then. But remember, coral sells for quite a bit, so it is worth your while to at least have a little bit of an investigation there. What are these pepper plants? Well, salt and pepper house-looking plants. We have a... Is this a hole? It looks like it could be a hole. Holes usually appear like this. Is it a hole? Surprisingly, yes. What is inside said hole?
Oh, it's another one of these. No, thank you.
Okay, so that's there. If we felt like playing a mini-game, it's not worth it. If it's anything like the one in Deku Forest, is this the island we're looking for? Here we go, there's a guy. But first, and more importantly, dirt. Hanky Pinky Friday. I wonder if anyone actually gets that reference, because it is a reference. Okay. Don't disturb me. I am meditating. But wait, are you the man I've heard so much about? Tingle? Don't look so alarmed. Are you so frightened simply because I know your name? It's not just your name I know. I know all about you, Tingle. I know that in spite of your helpless appearance, you survived many battles. And I know that you owe it all to the power of rupees. That's alarming.
I have devoted my entire life to training my body and soul. Thanks to a daily routine of meditation and a strict diet, I have become very powerful. I look at you, Tingle, and I see nothing but a greedy rupee grabber. You could never defeat me. Let's do battle. Can your rupee power overcome my strength?
Well, have we heard about Ronnie? I feel like the name's come up at least once. I don't remember what the limit here is, but I'll show you the power of my sex. Tuple digits. Oh! Look at Tingle's face, just Yes, that is a thing that I just did.
I can't resist. It's just too strong. Wow, look at all those rupees! They're so bright! They're so shiny! I want them! Gimme! Whoa. But no, I must resist. I have to hand it to you. Your rupee power is the real thing. I have understood the nature of your power. I will return your rupees.
And there you go. You see, that, I was fairly sure we'd give them back, so
I respect you, Tingle. If we ever meet again, I would be happy to be your bodyguard. But remember one thing, Tingle, I may respect you, but I don't work for free. I'm not cheap, you know. Next time we meet, bring a pile of rupees.
Okay, I guess that's a good thing. And he's gone. And he's back.
Now then, Tingle. In a while, I will set off on a journey around the world. Remember this. The next time we meet, you'll need to bring rupees. To make a contract with me, you're going to have to use that rupee power of yours.
Can I do it now? Okay, so this doesn't count. You can't contract with him just yet. And since we're in the general vicinity, just because we can, and I think we would have another opportunity to do this in the relatively near future, but, I mean, since we're right here, and there's a pirate pier right here, there's a pier that appeared here, we may as well strudel on over, bust out the bone ocarina, and finally get rid of that gooey tartar that's been curdling in our pocket for about 57 legs. I said 57 again! Why is that always the random number I go to? This is genuinely peeving me. Anyway, yes, Boat. Truly the greatest of things. And I promise I'm not deliberately putting off going to Mount Desma, it's just sidetrack. It is the best track. Track 12. I was about to recite the title of track 12 on one of the albums by the Utah Saints, but I don't remember what that song's called. I just remember that as a child I had that CD and the disc was scratched so it wouldn't play track 12 properly. Anyway, Gooey Tata, 2 and a bit thouso. Do we get a prize? Because you kept giving us prizes with a W, but it would seem not. We've exhausted you of all your prizes for the time being. In that case, let's head on over to Mount Desma, but before we do, moss. I'm fairly sure the only recipe that takes moss is, like, sunshine paste, and we're probably never going to make that again. Unless you count scrap broth, but even then, we're uninclined to make another batch of that as well. I don't think we'll need it for anything ever again, but just in case, I guess, just keep holding on to the moss because we can. And once again, just keep the tower ticking over. Like, we've got money to spare at this present moment. Now, offhand, I don't remember how much it costs to open the next area, but we could put a significant dent in that if we so chose. We have not chosen to. So, third continent. Am I going to want a bodyguard? Did I already hire one? I don't remember anything anymore. Okay, we are currently bodyguardless. We'll be fine for the moment, because I'm kind of hoping against all the odds that we run into one of the drifters. There is literally no reason why we would. But all 3 of them are now out there in the world waiting to make a contract with us, and it would be very beneficial if we could. Because we have some rather tough situations coming up. There's also these things, and if I had a bodyguard, I'd demonstrate the raw power of the red gelatin monsters, but let's cross each bridge as it makes itself known to us. He says, desperately scanning the back wall on the off chance that Yamori has left his toilet paper hanging around to let us know. And down here we have bamboozle grass. I don't remember if this is used for anything either, but it's here and we can consume it. Because why not? It's a trellis of free things that, worst case scenario, we can sell. For probably less than chump change, but nevertheless. Also, since we're here, did I not say we would go and offer this guy insurance? So, he's buried. Let's unbury it. Dig an amethyst out of his pelvis. That works too.
The mountain is speaking to me. You have to stick your head right into here. The mountain is afraid. It fears the power of rupees may be used for evil. The mountain gave its rupees to me. But I have no need for rupees. You may have them. Nice. So there you go, that's bomb insurance. For those 5,000 rupees, we promise to try not to hit you with a cannon ever again. The operative words there being try and hit, I guess. That wasn't meant to be plural, but here we are. Now, our next destination is up that ladder, but let's have a bit more of a wangle around the vicinity. And again, I'm just always suspicious of extended flat surface walls, because you never know where Toilet Paper Ninja's going to be hiding. That almost sounds like a YouTuber kind of name. Like, howdy guys, what's up? It's your boy, Toilet Paper Ninja. There's smash that button. Which button? All the buttons. That is a bear. Just going to walk past you if that's okay. Oh, we found the smug statue at last. This is the one that we couldn't tap before, and now we didn't. All that for a bone? Okay, you're a bear. I'll just fight the bear then. I was hoping I wouldn't have to, but like, bitch, you step to me. I'm gonna keep pounding your bare ass. That sounds fun out of context. 2 deaths in a row. Well, not deaths, but you know, it's not gonna be worth it. So you're gonna drop something of minimal value. 3 deaths. Well, I'm committed now. I have to use all this money. All of that for some giant fur and a bone. Is there at least anything in this puddle of dirt? We can't even dig it up. That was not worth it at all. And something just jiggled, I'm not sure what. Because at some point, I am going to have to go back to the icy plains, beat up a bunch of bears, get a bunch of paralysis claws. I want to make the icy... because then we'll have all the local recipes of the 2nd continent spoken for. Ah, good, more fire pigs. I don't remember if I packed any additional moisture. Can I poke you? These have already been marked on the map, but we got them from below. So, nope, don't pig me. Wait. Yep, that's how fire works. You burn for a while, and you take damage just from having touched things. But we're still extremely wealthy, so I'm not even going to be mad about it. I could choose to be mad, and I'm choosing not to be. And then there's you, Floaty Hooterson. There is nothing going on over here, so yeah, I guess we've cleared out the entire foothills of the mountain. So we'll just head back over here. Toilet paper! Toilet paper! Toilet paper! This must sound so strange out of context. So let's head up to yonder place. Now, take my advice. Don't speak to anyone. Like, just like in the real world, don't speak to anyone ever. But the full story here is, everyone here charges you to talk to them. Now, they won't, like, steal money from you by any means, but if you talk to them, you'll immediately be faced with a price thing. So, everyone here charges you to speak to them, and something's going to happen later on that will reduce what they charge. So, if you want hints about what to do next, then by all means talk to them and pay the price. They don't charge very much. Like, some of them charge 50, some of them are, I think, 500, some of them are like 150. It varies. But I know where to go next and what to do next, so I'm not going to be making that expense, but you can if you feel you need to. If for whatever reason you're using this series as a guide up until this exact point, at which point you're like, no, I no longer need this as a guide. That building we were in a moment ago, by the way, was an inn, but this isn't this isn't a typical RPG. We don't need to inn. I don't remember what you are, though. Either way, one of these, I think, sells tomatoes, one sells carrots, and one sells fish. I think, don't touch the child. I mean, good life advice in general, but don't touch the child. They will steal money from you and then throw you across the room. Now, this woman sells the local recipe, but again, wait until later. Something happens later on that makes this much more reasonable. So, again, you could... I want to snatch your pearl, sir. You could pay money now, but it's just more economically viable if you don't. This village is dead to us for the time being. The time being? There's this entity out there made of clocks. We must appease it. There's a chest there. I wonder how do obtainment. What about over here? Well, there's a trellis with items on it.
Sweet corn. Yep, this island, this mountain, I've been playing too much Tomodachi Life. This island is full of sweet corn and peaches. And I don't know, sweet corn is synonymous with turds if ever you've... Like, if you've seen any of... I will ignore you if I want to. Okay, we must mount the mountain. I'm going to pretend that you don't have a voice until we want to speak to you. But yeah, so we have a bit of a gimmick coming up. Yeah, you have to stretch your body. And also, it sounds worse than it is. But, yeah, you just pull and launch. And pull and launch. It sure is a time. That's kind of all I have to say on the matter. The music really helps. Yeah, just you stretch, you launch, you go full stretch Armstrong, and if you need to adjust your angle in the air, you can. I've already forgotten what I was saying. Oh yes, so if you've ever played Conker's Bad Fur Day, you'll know the relationship Sweet Corn has with arses in general. So this mountain is just full of euphemisms. Now when you stretch, you can pass through spikes, but you just can't land on them. And these ones make weird noises and then you fall. So I sort of did just fling myself from it, and for some reason the game was like, nope, you didn't fling at all. Well, fuck you, game. I did in fact fling. Let's head over to the sideways then. We'll take the long way around. I object to this game's objectionality. Those aren't words. It's just a really strange minigame overall. And, yes, you will need to get good at it because... that'll be why. If you don't stretch fast enough, then you just straight up fall. That would be why. Even though I could swear I am stretching fast enough, but whatever. But yes, as you can tell, they wouldn't just put this random gimmick here for no reason. This will come up later on. You will need to be good at it. So, you know, suffer. Just be speedy with those ones. I don't remember them being that unforgiving, but here we are. Also, this whole sequence is taking a lot longer than I remember it taking. Fling from the random space doorknobs, and by space I mean mountain. Space mountain. And Tingle will just latch onto the nearest one he finds. So anyway, we have reached the top. Not even the summit, just the general top. And we have another trellis full of spiky poops, or in this case, Nidorians, like durians, but Nidoran. I don't even remember if there's a logic to how they're named, other than just, hey, we wanted to put a Pokemon into a fruit. Somehow I doubt that's what it is. I don't actually remember. Now, it might look like, oh yes, drop down there. We actually have a choice. We can go down the right, we can go down the left. And, either way, you're in for a bad time. Spicy prawn. That's an important item for later on. Like, it is just a regular ingredient, and we will get regular access to them in due course. But, that will be a useful item for, like, just for the moment. I guess for the remainder of this episode, we'll do both sides. So first of all, flop down on the right, and you get this treasure chest. Ta-da! We found a silk rope. Completely useless for the purposes of, like, mountaineering. Like, it's made of silk, it's gonna break, but don't use it. Anyway, I'll see you back at the top. And of course, I'm really bloody good at it at the time that I don't actually intend to show it in the... I'll show you some edited down version of that, but it went a lot better than my first attempt at that. It's because I'm out of practice. We got a skull from a statue. We be making progress. We out here making progress. That's the kicking statue. Now, this thing here... press this switch, it makes a ladder appear. This is a hole, as you can probably infer. If you go down that hole... you'll have a bad time. Look at all these bones.
You there, in the green. Yes, you. Want to take me on?
No. Oh, no.
Then leave me alone.
That's a secret super boss. We're not doing that. Or we will at some point. But at the moment, we are in no position to take that on. Just trust me. You will have the baddest of bad times. Excuse me, can you be helped?
King up ahead. A very great king. Only messengers allowed to pass. Smells so good, Nidorians, so nice. Go ahead. The king is waiting for Nidorian.
Yeah, they sort of speak in that ever so slightly patronizing, we don't know how verbs work, sort of crude, slightly racist parody of the concept of a native tribe generically. We gotta love Western authoring tropes, even though this game is Japanese. I said I was going to end the episode. We nearly have a reason to. There's a couple of houses here. I forget what purpose they serve. This statue gave us a beard. Is that a euphemism? All it's doing is beckoning. Also, there's a 69 in our rupee total. Clearly, we have achieved perfection. So what's going on in the here? I honestly don't actually remember. Oh, that looks like a picture of the king, but everything's pink. So presumably, either the king is pink, or eggs. I was going to make some sort of cheese implication, and I didn't. A cheese implication. Oh, well, there you go. The king does, in fact, pink, and that must be his queen. Making broad, sweeping assumptions here, I know. And then, well, what lieth behind this door, then? Is it the cheese room? Is everything cheese? Okay, these guys, I believe, don't charge, so... Research how to lift curse on king. Maybe answer is in Yamatami legends. Legends written in old Yamatami language. Very difficult. Must find way to make king well. King heard message in dream. It told him to get rupees. Yamatami tribe taxes too high. And that's why everyone charges you to speak to them. This is the local problem of the area. The taxes are too damn high. So, in the next episode, we'll head into there, we'll talk to the king, hopefully tell him to calm his tits with the taxes, and, see what comes that fateful meeting. For now, I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons in the next episode. That, and, see you then. Bye-bye.